How is it possible that you swing so hard, the ball just floats up in the air, doesn't get very much distance with your irons, and then you see somebody else, it looks like they're not swinging at all. The ball makes this totally different sound when it hits the club face. It explodes off there. It sounds deeper, like almost like a cannon shot went off, and the ball goes 20 or 30 yards farther with the exact same iron. How is that possible? It doesn't seem right. This person isn't any more athletic than you are. They're not more gifted or talented than you are. It really just comes down to the hard science of this. If we can learn the proper way that the pros are compressing their irons, we can do the same thing in our own game. So let me cut to the chase here and talk about the really key points with this. The main thing that the pros are doing when they're hitting this iron shot is instead of adding loft to the club, and what happens when you add loft, so let's imagine this club straight up and down. If I have this club leaning back, I'm adding loft to the face. Now the face is pointing more up in the air. And no matter how hard I swing, when I hit this ball, it's gliding up the face and kind of floating in. What we need to feel like we're doing is taking all the loft off this club face so the face is covering over top of the golf ball. Now that's not really happening. That's the feeling that you're going to want to have happening though. You're also going to want to feel like the toe rolls around the outside of the golf ball. So if this is the club face, it rolls on top of the face, top of the ball, and comes around to the outside to hit this low penetrating draw shot. And that's exactly what I'm going to walk over in this video. So we really want to feel like covering the golf ball, people call it that. Some people call it a trap. Some people call it different things, but the result is the same. Really penetrating, hard hit golf shots. So let's start out with a great drill to do this. Number one, if we're flipping at the golf ball and adding loft to this, so now my loft is opening up instead of taking that down, one of the most important drills you can do is a little half back swing, full follow through shot. So what I'm doing here, I'm making a little half back swing. I'm really feeling like my legs get loaded up into the ground, and then I'm going to accelerate coming all the way on through as hard as I can through that golf ball. Again, what that's going to do is as I'm accelerating through, it's going to make it easier for me to get forward shaft lean on this club. So if I do one of these shots here, I'm going to hit toward that target in the distance. There we go, nice low shot. Again, I really felt like I accelerated through that. Even though it's a little half swing, that's going a long way for a 7-iron. Now, the second piece of that, sometimes when players do that shot, what they'll find themselves doing is they'll lean the shaft forward, but the face will be open. I want you to feel like you take those hands and arms and close that club face down. Look how my left wrist is bowing. Look how my right hand is coming on top. That's what people call covering the golf ball. And I want you to feel like, again, if you're hitting this golf ball, instead of your face being square, it feels like it wraps around the outside of the golf ball. So I'm coming around, covering over top of the outside. As I swing out to the right when I'm doing that, that's going to result in that low draw type shot. There we go. You can really hear that one. Just really compress on the club face. So again, I'm making a little half back swing, really accelerating through. And if I do that correctly, then I'm hitting kind of a low draw shot. So really be active with your lower body. Really try to get that ball to super, super draw. There we go. We hear that one. I couldn't hit one much better than that. And again, that's a 7-iron with a little half backswing. I'm actually pretty far away. I'm almost 200 yards away, but I'm barely short of the green because I'm really accelerating through and compressing this golf shot. Now, one of the other pieces we want to feel like with this, to really compress this golf ball, is we want to make sure that the logo of our left glove kind of stays toward the ground. So if I have my logo of my left glove here pointing forward, if I let my hands flip, now the logo is starting to point up toward the sky. I want to feel like from here when I turn the club down, my logo is now facing down a little bit more. I want to roll that hand to feel like that club's coming again to the outside of the golf ball here. So my face is really turning over to the outside. So turn that logo down, and when we're releasing this, let your hand release, but feel like the logo is down toward the ground. Right? So I'm really having a lot of forward shaft lean. If I did this in reality, it would be the lowest, hardest hit snap hook you've ever seen. I mean, that ball would really turn over, but I want you to exaggerate that for the short term. Go ahead and overdraw that ball a little bit. We can always tone back from there. There we go, really low shot. Those aren't going more than 20 or 30 feet off the ground with a 7-iron. That one actually got to the green. So those are really helping me to get all the energy from the golf ball into the club. Now the final piece with this, we talked about how to de-loft the club. We talked about how to roll the face. We talked about how to release with the left hand, how to make a shorter backswing and really accelerate on through. That way we're getting the speed at the golf ball. Now let's just take it to a full size swing. Exact same thing's gonna happen. I'm gonna make my full backswing, really getting loaded up, and then as I come closer to contact, then I feel like I'm really gonna hammer on with the speed, and then a full follow through. So on this one, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get one to the green from here, which would be a pretty daggone long 7-iron for myself. All right, killed that one. Let's see if it gets all the way there. Yep, that one landed right in the middle of the green. Hit that one great. So put those pieces together, start slow, start with smaller swings, and then build up the speed from there. You're gonna compress the heck out of the golf ball.